you. This is for Daisy, and as you guessed, here comes the networking question. How important are contacts when job searching, and do you have any tips on how to build contacts that will actually help you get a job in clean energy?
Yes and yes. So these are the short answers. Well, I think networking is very important when it comes to getting you to a destination. However, that is not the only vessel that will take you there. Even though I know people who firsthand, their primary contact who they networked with ultimately became either their coworker or even their manager. In my experience, my networking has led me closer to where I need to be. And it makes sense if you think about it. You know, when you first graduate and you go to a few events, do you have the look of a person who has been in the industry? Do you talk like, you know, someone who has been in the industry? And until you submerge yourself in that environment, you cannot really get some of I guess, I'm sorry, words are coming very slowly to me tonight. You can tell I had a long day. But anyway, you know, these are some of the things that you really can rub off of when you start doing your networking. And I think some of the most important things from networking is that every single contact that you make, maybe it won't lead to anything, you know, a directly fruitful outcome, but you're always learning from that interaction. You're always taking something away from that relationship. And I also have something to say about networking, too, for those students who are new and, I guess, new out into the networking world, is that what I find has been useful is instead of going into a room and, you know, meeting every single person in the room that you can, this is actually when you start working on depth. It is a lot more efficient to have a few useful contacts that can lead you to further contacts rather than having just a face-to-face, oh, this, you know, you're my LinkedIn, or we've exchanged one email throughout the entire year that, you know, past 12 months since I know you, that kind of thing. And I guess the second part of the question is, what was it again, the second part of the question that you asked?
Do you have any tips on how to build contacts that will actually help you get a job?
Okay. I thought I was alluding into it, but I wanted to make sure. First of all, it is very important to know what type of industry that you're looking into first before even asking for a job. And again, from my experience, I did a lot of research into the industry while I was job searching and before I was job searching. So I sort of have a vision of where I want to place myself. And this will add even more efficiency to what type of network you are investing your time into, time and energy. So these are just a few of my lessons. I see Melissa and Nick sometimes nodding, so I guess I'm going in the right direction then.
You definitely are. I'd actually like to add one thing, and that's about referrals. I've noticed at least a lot of times out in DC here, you can meet a contact and people are more than happy to actually refer you to a job portal and a specific job if you think you make a good fit. A lot of times they may actually have a reward, some sort of bonus there, and so people generally are very friendly and very helpful to actually refer you to specific positions. And so if you're, let's say you're going to a networking event and you've identified, as Daisy said, identify, you know, a few firms that you really want to focus on and go talk to them. And if you know that they're actually looking for certain positions, you can kind of walk into asking about referrals and if that's a possibility, because you never know. And a lot of times referrals actually jump to the front of the pile as well when companies are looking at the candidates.
And I'll just add a little bit to that too. I think everything that's been said is great, and I agree with. And I would add that I wouldn't overlook the contacts right under your nose. While I was at UW-Madison, I connected with 3 great professors in the Energy Analysis and Policy program, who have connections with firms outside of the university in the industry, such as Bill Provencher, who works at Navigant. And after I graduated, all 3 of these professors were more than happy to help connect me with people and give me recommendations. And so don't underestimate the impression that you're making on your professors and even your TAs. I see some of my former students out there. So, I'm just trying to say, like, consider all of that and make use of that network there. And I agree with, making a few good connections can be really helpful as opposed to spreading yourself too thin and just making superficial connections.
Great, thank you.